Early days of Charvel, it goes back to 79, 80. We were making Charvel Strat bodies and basically a Strat neck on pin routers, like primitive as you can get. Later on, we started doing a dinky body, star bodies.
It was in an industrial complex where the bay door would be open, and then you could see woodworking going on in here, and people would come up, hey, what are you guys doing here? And I'd tell them. They stick their head in, trying to see what the heck. So I'd go grab one, because I wouldn't let them in, because I didn't know who they were. I would show them and go, wow, you do that here? Yeah, we do that here. One time, I'll tell you a quick story, because I don't forget, Sammy Hagar came to the back door. I didn't know that was Sammy Hagar. So he's looking for Grover, and I go, oh, he's over there. I think, I just go, no, you can't come in this way. I wouldn't let him in.
Back in the early 80s, the hair bands were starting. Warren DeMartini would come in. We'd do some work on the necks for him because he liked specific back shapes and stuff like that. He was one of the up-and-coming rock stars with Rat, and they became really famous. In fact, the band practiced in San Dimas in our paint department a little bit before it was completed. Alan Holdsworth came in and was one of the guys that would hang out and use some of the floor space for his practicing. Jake E. Lee would come in every once in a while to pick up a new guitar, as he got many back in the day. If we went a week without a rock star coming in, it was like, well, what happened? The shop was actually located in Glendora, right on the border of Gladstone. The P.O. box was in San Dimas. That's where the San Dimas name came from. Very, very small place, very crude machinery, very few machines, very little industrial park building. All this stuff was created in, which it was amazing. You could create these beautiful guitars with so few tools.
We would get a 3x5 business card with directions as far as a 1-hum trem, 2 3/16, the directions of what the build would be. And we would have a stack of 25 or 30 cards on each body. So you'd have to route this one like a 1-hum Kaler, a 1-hum Nos trem, a 1-hum 2-single coil something else. And it was all different like that. And on that card also would have a neck with a rosewood board, white dots, an ebony neck with pearl dots. Each guitar was built individually and pre-sold. We weren't building things to load up a warehouse.
They were doing things to the guitar like the fretboard radius, the back shape. All these things were customized, and people were coming up with ways to make them play better, or at least better suit their playing style. And at that time, the playing style, was faster, it was more aggressive. You're using Floyd Rose now, which before you didn't have the locking ability. So you can wank on it all day long, and it never goes out of tune. You can do all these crazy things you really couldn't do before, or else you'd have to have 5 different guitars on stage and change them out after every song. And you don't have to do that with the Charvel. The performance of the Charvel is on a whole nother level of playing, so the playability of the guitar had to progress with the style of the music. Charvel was basically an innovator for high performance at the time.
By '79, Charvel had gone to a NAMM show to display their first prized guitars. And what we're doing now for this current NAMM show in 2019 is going to be all the original guitars in the original catalog.
We are doing some throwback models of the Star and the early San Dimas with the old spiderweb graphic, the lightning bolt Star, the bullseye, and it's been really cool to work on some of the early models and bring those back to life and do them again.
Due to the fact these are going to be the 40th anniversary, I felt it fitting to do a lot of the bodies on the pin router and do the handmade stuff where we hand pin routed the pickups and the body perimeters and rear controls, and we hand bandsawed the contours with some super old fixtures that we still have around here today. This would be the tracing template, and this would be the angle that it would be sitting on, which this stuff goes back to at least 1978. So this is some original tooling that we got to use again for this model. And even some of the templates, we didn't have all the templates because we haven't made these shapes for so long. So we had to make some new ones.
It was really fun for me to grab the old jigs because we try not to throw anything away. When I pulled out the side dot jig, that brought back a lot of memories. I had to dig it out, blow it off, very filthy. All these jigs were. They sit down here below behind me actually, adjusting them. But once I started doing it, it's like going up, done that before.
Oh, look badass, dude. I think my favorite's probably that lightning bolt graphic star. I remember when I was working back at that small guitar shop when I was 15, someone brought in a lightning bolt graphic Charvel bass. I remember how cool that thing was. Yeah, I'm super excited to do the throwback models for the Charvel 40th anniversary. I mean, you're gonna see some things you haven't seen probably since then, or very few of since then. So to see these models be redone and be remade in that same sense, even down to the way that they're crafted, is pretty incredible. I mean, we really got nitty gritty on this stuff. We even got down to the custom fingerboard radius. We're remaking some of the bridges, having them hand machined, just like they were done back in the day. But every part of the detail has really been paid attention to.
Charvel is unique because we can take a Strat and we can do what we want with it. There's no guidelines. We take the guidelines and we throw them out the window and we do what we want. We glue funky woods together. We do awesome, crazy graphics. We put a Floyd on it, which you're not supposed to do to a Strat, but we do it because we're crazy. We generally start with a piece of wood, and by the end of the process, we turn it into a guitar in our little work area. And we make the wackiest stuff and the coolest stuff.
I think about the customer more than anything. My whole motive is I don't care if it's a painted guitar or natural. I treat it with the same respect. I always look for a very good piece of wood that doesn't have any problems in it for the neck. And if it's going to be painted, I don't care. I pretend if that was going to be my guitar, I don't want nothing bad. So I always give the top quality for painted guitars and the natural guitars. When I do pick up the wood for the guitar, I can't wait to see it in an artist's hands. Somebody who I know is going to really appreciate it and love it as much as me.
It's been awesome working with people like Jakey Lee and Warren DeMartini, and then also getting to work with guys like Guthrie Govan and watching them bring the Charvel brand from one era type of music to a completely different genre of music.
Recently, there's been a bit of a renaissance of shred metal, or virtuoso guitar playing in all genres. You have Guthrie Govan, Angel Vivaldi, Joe Duplantier, Gojira. They're all different genres, but they're all amazing guitar players, and they need a high performance guitar for being able to play like that. You can't just take any old guitar and expect it to hold up to those kind of demands.
It's awesome seeing these guys play them live and bring new inspiration to light with different style of guitar playing and different types of music. It's been really cool seeing that.
It's definitely a privilege being part of the group. You're building guitars for your own guitar heroes. And it's really cool to have come into it and be able to be a part of it. But it wasn't easy. These guys have their ways of doing things, and there's a lot of integrity there. They don't want to cut any corners. So they definitely didn't allow me to do any of that either. So I kind of had to prove myself and, had to do it their way and, live by their standards and work by their standards. And by the end of it, I learned a lot, and I know how to do a craft that most people will never understand.
The number one rule is don't F up, and you know what F means. That's been a rule for many years, because if you break that rule, you're not going to last long. I've been around here so long, I know what's expected of our brand, and I'll basically make the last call. It'll fly or it won't fly. Even like little stains in wood or super minor things. To me, quality is imperative.
I think what's really cool about the Charvel Custom Shop is, we'll do absolutely anything. There are really no boundaries. If you can dream it, we'll build it. I'm sure you've heard us say that before. And it's true. It really doesn't matter what it is. You can dream it up, we'll do it.